with everything. And the recording will then be posted on the site that we did for Kristen last time with just kind of the updates on everything. So basically, first of all, thank you for all jumping on. I know it's a smaller group. I knew that going into it. And a lot of people are vacationing and all that fun stuff. But the whole reason for doing this, we're trying to do this the first Tuesday every month. And that was obviously right around the 4th of July timeframe, which was more difficult for me, and I needed to push it back. So we opted to do this night and instead of the virtual meeting next week. With that being said, there's a couple updates that I just want to hit on really fast. The Monday night calls are going to be changing. So moving forward, where those of you that are on live or listening to the replays, usually we do Team Infinity and we have like a bunch of level 5 leaders or above that are actually doing the calls. And sometimes on the other calls, we have other people volunteering as well. But we're changing that up to make them a little bit smaller so that we can have more participation in the different groups. And one of the things that we're going to be doing on Monday night, it's actually going to be a Zoom call as well. So we're going to see how that goes with a couple different pieces of the team. And Allie will be a part of that and running it this time and really trying to see if that will work. My big push in this, because we have all the replays from Team Infinity for a long time, the same thing with Team Envision. A lot of them are the same different types of calls that I think you guys will all get a lot out of, but also to incorporate just the Rockin' Robins call. So I think that's going to be key moving forward. When you'll see a post come out, to make sure you get on that or get on the replay and comment. We'll do some little running challenges around that, but just keep that in mind. Those are going to be changing a little bit. It will still be 8:30, and I know that's hard for you too, Jenny, out there, but we'll work on some of that as well. And then the first Tuesday of the month is obviously this call, which we'd like to do just as more of a team call. And the main reason for this, and Darcy and I talked about it, was to really get all of the team just kind of talking. You know, nothing real short or long. It's 20 minutes. Let's have some conversation. Let's get some tips out there. I'll highlight somebody each time to kind of give some things and go from there. So this Tuesday coming up, we do have the virtual team training or team presentation, the virtual presentation. So mark that on your calendars. That's critical. You'll see more posts going on about that, but Allie's going to host that one. And so invite. That's big. July 20th, big date. Anybody that has hotels, Tiff, we got to get offline with you on this, but the hotel reservations, anything you already have for convention needs to be decided by then. So that piece of it is going to be, if you have already registered for something, if you don't terminate it, you go for it. So make that a date that you know you need to get rid of anything that's there. The Australia campaign, 19th and the 20th of July, same time frame. Invite. Those are critical. I mean, we don't ever have leaders. When we did it in Canada, we didn't have anybody there doing these things. So somebody you know, I know so somebody in Australia. So be actively promoting that and promoting those dates and looking at the registration if you're not added to the page. And obviously the big Go Naked RF event for tomorrow, huge. Tag people, reach out to people, use that to grow your business. I'm doing the free regimen in that, so make sure you post it on your site however you want to use that. But that's a big key thing for all of you. And the incentive that was just posted for the 7th through the 14th, that was from Lauren Tenney, which she posted to all her directs. So Allie was one of them. You get a free regimen for any Canoe consultant that signs up on the $6.95 or $9.95, or any of you that sign up 5 new PCs during that 7th through the 14th of July. So jump on it. You know, that's regimen or acute care. You have your choice until things run out. So I don't know what that means, how many she has. And for all of you, the 3 of you that are on this call tonight, I'm going to do something special just for tomorrow. Any new PCs you get for tomorrow during all of the campaigning of everything, I'll send a free eye cream to any of your people. So promote it however you want. It's just for you guys because you jumped on tonight. So use that to your liking and go run with it. With that all being said, I asked Kat to say a couple things tonight, just to, you know, kind of share with us. She's had a lot of great success in this business in a short time, and some tips that I think you guys will find really helpful. So I'm going to pass it off to our rock star Kat and share with us just something that, you know, you thought people could really take away from things that you're doing that have helped you in the business. So thanks for sharing with us, Kat.
Thank you, Renee. Well, thank you. It's very humbling to be asked, so really appreciate it. And I think I firstly just wanted to put things in perspective. I think for me, at the beginning, I was typically getting caught up in everybody else's journey that they kept posting on Facebook. And I just needed to keep remembering that for everybody's one success that they post on social media, that's probably often tied with maybe 50 to 100 things that did not turn out as successful. So I think it's just really key that, and just, you know, it reminds you that you just never stop, because, you know, you might just be stopping before you reach that mountain peak, and you never know. So you just keep going. And even, you know, the people in that tippy top of the circle, the RFX circle, I mean, they've all had numerous hurdles to overcome, despite whether it took them 2 years to get there or 5 years to get there. You know, they've still had plenty of rejections. And so I think that's just always really, really key to remember, because I think you can truly forget it, and you often think that it's just you and maybe you're not doing something right. And for me, honestly, I started off very, very slow. I feel it took me probably a good 12 months to get very, very comfortable in the direct sales world. I think I just felt everybody was maybe potentially going to be very negative towards me. So I think it made me just feel very uncomfortable. So it took me a good year to get really comfortable in my skin and just to understand it. So if you're feeling that same way, you don't stop, you know, because honestly, I think you truly can. You can overcome that. And I think you overcome it through all the different trainings that you attend, all the different training calls that you listen to, and all the books that you read as well. I mean, I think the books are really key. And you need to figure out what works for you. Every time I listen to the training calls and I listen to what everybody does, I then try and make that right for me. And it's not always going to be right for you. So for example, everybody talks about, you know, the daily activity and how you have to do, you know, potentially 5 reach outs a day, maybe 3 follow-ups a day. And I just can't seem to do that. It just doesn't work for me. I mean, I want it to work for me, but it doesn't. So I literally have to take a day, whatever day I decide is better for me, and I'll do, like, you know, 80 reach outs in that one morning or that one afternoon or that one evening, whatever it may be. And sometimes I'll do more than that, just depending what I have going on that week, whether I have any specials or, you know, what Renee's offering or anything like that. So I think you just figure out exactly what works for you, listen to the training, take what you can from it, but then mold it to you as your personality and what is best. And it's okay. I mean, if it works for you, then that's brilliant. It doesn't have to be generic what everybody else is doing. We're all different. And then I think I've just realized that when you do your reach outs, you can't just be saying, hey, I sell RNF, it's brilliant, it's worked for me, it's great. You also have to make sure that you actually say to that person, you know, what do you need? What are you using right now? You know, what are your problem areas? What is not working for you with your current regimen? It's basically, you've got to ask them for that sale. Because if you don't ask them for that sale, they're not necessarily going to outright come and say, oh yeah, I definitely want to buy from you. So I think sometimes we often miss the boat because we just forget to add that key piece. And just over the last I've been doing this probably for about 18 months or so. And I think the 4 key things that I finally learned for me are basically going to be the honesty, having the confidence, having the consistency, and the follow-up. So I truly try to be as honest as I possibly can with all the products, and just saying how they work and just being realistic. I mean, it's skin. Everybody's skin is different. Mm-hmm. So some people may see a result in a couple of days, and other people it may take 6 months. You know, and you're not offering a guarantee. I mean, this isn't necessarily like a miracle cream that is going to do overnight wonders and work necessarily, you know, as good as Botox does in one swoop of getting the injections or whatever. So I think it's just being realistic with people and helping them understand. and especially with the business side. I think initially with the business piece, I don't think I was being realistic with my portrayal of it. And I think people have to understand that, I mean, it is a job. I mean, it is work, and you have to work very hard at it, and you can put in as many hours as you want or as little hours as you want. But obviously the more hours you put in, the faster you're going to go and the greater success you're going to have. And I think that's what people have to understand. It's not just money is not going to fall out of the sky. That is not direct sales. It's just not a reasonable notion. And for whatever reason, some people think that is the truth. And so when that doesn't happen, that's when they get frustrated. So I think you just have to explain, how it is. You can work incredibly hard for like 5 years and it will absolutely pay off, but you got to put the work in, and just make sure that they understand that. And then I think the confidence piece, which I definitely was lacking at the beginning of the business. I mean, you just have to be so confident about everything that you're doing. You obviously have to have an absolute belief in the product, which I think all of us do, otherwise we would not be here. But you have to have just that absolute 100% confidence in your business and in your abilities at all times, even when you're having the crappiest day ever and when nothing is going your way and you're just like, this is crazy, what am I doing? You still have to come off as, my business is, so successful. I'm a rock star. I'm doing really well. Because I mean, ultimately you are, but like everybody, you can have an off day and it's perfectly fine. But you just don't want to be sharing that, because that's just not going to give off the reflection of what your typical average day might be. And I just think you need to make sure you understand the right language in which to engage people. So confidence is absolutely huge. Because even if these people are saying no to you, they're still watching you. Everybody that says no to you is still following you. I mean, it is really interesting. I mean, I think from being in the business for the 18 months, I mean, I have people that, when I first joined and reached out to them, I mean, they all said no and all said, why are you doing this? And then during the space of the last 18 months, I mean, a lot of them are buying the product from me. And I think it's just because of the consistency, and just seeing that obviously, I mean, I don't wear makeup really ever. And so I think it's just that as well, that helps as well, so that they can just see that actually the product is really working. So just remember that even when they say no and they ignore you, I mean, they're not really ignoring you. They're still following it. It's quite interesting. And then the last two pieces, the consistency and the follow-up, are really just, they're hand in hand, really. When I follow up with people, I mean, I'm very, very consistent about it. And some people I will follow up with about 20 times. Even if people ignore me, I will still follow up with them. But maybe I space it out every 3 weeks. And often I think if I haven't heard back from people, when I follow up with them, I might change my language. So maybe when I follow up with them, I'll say, that I am reaching out to them because I'm looking in the state that they're currently living in, and I'm really looking for customers out there, or I'm really looking for business partners out there, and perhaps they know of somebody. And usually that just takes the edge off it for them, and then that helps them to respond back to me. Or otherwise, I just follow up with people regarding any offers I'm doing, and I'll always say to them, listen, if you don't want me to send you the offers or any information about the RNF, let me know. And I mean, I've never had anybody write back and say that they didn't want to hear about the offers. But normally when I put that out to them, they'll normally write back and they'll normally say, you know what, Kat, right now it's not the right time for me to buy because of whatever is happening in their life. But they always say, please keep me on your list and please just let me know when you have various things going on. So I think that's really key. You do just keep following up. And I mean, I think everybody knows, you as well, that life changes so much, doesn't it? I mean, from what you're doing today to what you're doing in 6 months to what you're doing in a year, your life could be very, very different. Whether it's just that your children are a different age bracket, whether it's just that you're in a different place, maybe you're happier, I don't know, maybe, just any situation changes. So it just depends when you catch that person as to what really truly works for them. And I think people just with, they have to, I know that, sorry, just to totally switch the subject. I know for Jenny, she's been asking me how I keep tabs of my people that I follow up with. And I think for everybody, it's very different. And once again, you just need to figure out what's right for you. For me, it's really an Excel spreadsheet. I just do best with everything sort of black and white. And I don't like to have handwritten notes everywhere, because for me, it's just very confusing. And then I just typically have messages all over the place, and it just feels very cluttered. So I just have a Excel spreadsheet, and I just have everybody's name. I have the dates of when I reach out, what I offered them, if it was a special deal, or, you know, just literally anything, all my notes. So definitely, I think sort of key things that you can do is reach out to your current preferred customer base as well. Ask them if they want to host a virtual product party, especially if you have a lot of your preferred customers in different states. I mean, that's so key just to get into those other states. So I do a lot of virtual product parties. I'm not always going to say that every single one that I do is immensely successful. But what I do feel it does for me is that it's just building up my networking. It's helping me branch out, and it's helping me build my foundation. And I just think that's so important. So just make sure that you're constantly building your foundation and reaching out to other networks. The other thing that I try and do is embrace all the training. I am I'm typically not very good at attending any live trainings, but I definitely always listen to the replays. I listen to them when I'm running. I listen to them when I'm in the car, just whenever it works better for me, because I'm more of a morning person than I am an evening person. So I think it's fine. If you can't get on live, then just make sure you listen to the replay the next day. As long as you're listening to it, I think that it's fine. And I know that I was actually telling Renee, because I'm getting into my hot yoga recently, and it's been really, really good. And I have a hot yoga teacher who was telling us the other day in yoga, she was just saying to us, you know, do you remember when you were a kid? And when you're a kid, you try anything and everything. You don't even think about failing, because if you do fail, you just laugh and you just get back up and you do it again. And if you screw it up again, you laugh and you get back up and you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again. And it's almost like a game, and it's funny. And, you know, fear is not even in your vocab. It's not even, you know, a thought. And I think it was so true. And I thought it was really cool. And obviously it applied to yoga when I was doing it. But then I thought it's so key for RNF as well. I mean, we do get so caught up in this fear thing. But I mean, who cares? I mean, does it really matter? I mean, it totally doesn't matter, right? And we should learn to laugh at ourselves. I mean, we should laugh every day, because it's just so good for us. And I just thought it was really true. And I thought it was a really great thing. So I'm going to apply that motto to my everyday RNF. And every time I fail, I'm just going to laugh, and I'm just going to get back up, and I'm going to do it again, because really, it truly doesn't matter. It really doesn't. So anyway, I was just thinking, hold on, let me just have a quick look at my notes. So my final thing was that when you look at all the challenges and all the struggles and all the knockbacks that you have in this business, of which we will have plenty, and of any business of which you will have plenty. I mean, it's not just unique to RNF. I mean, it's unique to anything, right? But I think you just have to flip your mindset, and you just have to look at it as a positive thing, because the struggles make your victory so much sweeter. So really, we should be rejoicing in all the struggles. If we didn't have them, we would never appreciate the successes quite so much. So for all the no's, for all the knockbacks, they help us. I mean, they help develop your character. They help make you stronger. And they are basically your driving factor. And I think, honestly, at the end of the day, they're such a positive thing, and we truly need them. I think they keep us humble, and I think they help us appreciate being at the top so much better when we get there. So for me, always stay humble in your successes. I think it just makes you so much more of a sincere person, and it's just so much more genuine. And I just think, you know, ultimately it's just so much sweeter when you do hit those peaks. So just keep building your foundation. everything you do is paving the way to be successful, even on those days that you don't feel that it is. Be confident in your abilities, because we can all do this. Everybody knows we can do this. And it's just a really unique situation that we're in, and it's just a very, very, very cool thing. So I think that was just generally everything that I had, Renee. So thank you for listening.
No, that was really great, Kat. And you hit on so many great points that I think are incredibly important as you go through the journey. Like, I mean, and a lot of that's comparison. I think everybody on this call right now, like, is dealing with stuff like that. Like, I mean, you're the post, this person's getting promoted, this is happening, you have to unplug from that. You really do, because you're only in control of what you can do at that present moment. And I think that, some of the things that people are, hey, Brittany, some of the things that people get really frustrated by is how quickly or how slow or how, in between they go. So I thought those were all super great points. I also love that you have to laugh at yourself all the time, because you really do. I mean, and it's skin. We're helping people, and you're going to hear 1,000 no's. And they say it all the time, but the further you get, the more no's you've heard. And it's, plugging through them and knowing that they are watching, because I think that was the other biggest critical thing that I heard. Everybody's watching you. When you post, whether it's once a week, 5 times a week, whatever your pattern is and all that, people are watching you. And they might not show that they're watching you, but I promise you that they are. So keep up all that good stuff. And that was really awesome, Kat. You gave some great tips. And it also shows why you've been very consistent and your business is just about to explode. So lots of great stuff there. Are there any questions, Tiffany, Jenny, Brittany, we had on for a second, that you guys have, like, that you want to ask?
This is pretty an elementary question, but so when you send back a regimen, I had somebody that wanted to send one back last week, and they didn't have the original box. How much should it cost to ship it back, or what's the best way to ship it back?
Well, you need to go back and make sure, one, they have the packing slip in there.
Right. And
if they have that, if you just go and make sure that there's a tracking number associated to it, whether it's FedEx, UPS, parcel, you just need a tracking number. Because the whole goal with any customer is they need to give you that tracking number so that you can help assist them. Because the minute it hits our whatever location that it goes to, you want to be able to know that it arrived, email that number to support, and then support will say, oh yes, we've got it in the warehouse. That's what helps expedite the return. Because if it just sits there and it's there for 2 weeks because it just happened to be one of the boxes that got in there, it's just how the whole supply chain thing works. That box could have been there 2 weeks ago, but because nobody really followed up on it, it's just kind of waiting to go through the processing.
Okay.
So they'll expedite it knowing that you have a tracking number.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So how much should it, it cost me $10 to send it back the other day.
I was going to say 10, right around $10.
Okay. I guess I was thinking it would be about 5, but okay.
And usually that's because you have to have the tracking. The tracking is extra because you're having to pay for whatever line of, I know when I've sent them back, it's around $10 to $12.
Okay. So that's about right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Boo, we don't like returns.
I know, me neither. It's a pain in my rear end, and it costs me money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we don't like returns, so sorry. Anything else? Jenny, did you have any questions while you're driving?
I don't think so. My only other question that I was thinking about, because someone was asking me, is what is the 60-day time frame when if you do have to make a return? Is it from the date that you order it, or is it the date from when they ship it?
It's from the date that they ordered it. So when you look at your order report, if it says it shipped on July 4th, then they have essentially 60 days from that date for it to return back to the warehouse. So the critical thing is that I tell everybody it's really, I would make sure around 55 days, if they need to return it, we need to get it in the mail because it has to show the shipping date happened before or on that 60th day.
Okay.
So it
Got
doesn't
it.
have to actually be in the warehouse by the 60th day, but it has to show that it's shipped by then. So
Thank you.
you bet.
This really worked out well for me too. Just being able to listen and take notes, and
Aw.
You're
I like-
taking notes as you're driving?
well, traffic.
Thank goodness for California traffic, yes.
I know. Are you home? Are you not home yet?
I am. I'm sitting in my drive.
I like to lock myself in my car when I get home sometimes so that no, that's awesome. And again, I appreciate this and Tiffany, were you on the last one?
No, I saw the replay.
Okay. And this is the whole goal of it. It's to be short and sweet, and honestly, we have so many of you guys that are starting off so fast and getting, different niches within different people. And it's an opportunity to share. And so it's a smaller format of a training, but then also get everybody together. So if you have questions, we need to talk about things, any of this stuff coming up, it's a great opportunity to kind of, in a smaller format, kind of all talk and not have to just be listening to the replays all the time. So did you guys feel like this was a little bit helpful or?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I like
I could
No,
listen to Pat
it.
talk all day. I could listen to
You're
Pat's
funny.
accent all day.
Oh, you're so sweet. But no, it's so nice. I like it because I like seeing us all, and so if you can't make it to an actual physical live training, and of course, with my friend Jenny being so far away, I love it that she can actually partake in stuff like this. Otherwise, I always feel sad that she's so far away and can't be with us.
Yeah. Well, and I think as we grow, this is going to be even more critical of a tool, whether it's through Zoom or through Facebook Live or what have you. I mean, this right now allows you to have a lot of different people on. So as we grow bigger into Canada and grow bigger into Australia and things like that, it does give a totally different forum that, you have for your teams to be able to kind of leverage, which I think is huge. So that's the whole also goal of getting this all started and using it. So we'll try to do it once a month. And then, like I said, the Monday night call is going to be in this format. So now that you guys got it down your iPhones, some of us need to figure that one out. But that's because you can chat on it. You can, mute yourself, so there's a lot of fun things that you're able to do with it. And if Kat brought up a good point before we got on, this is a great venue for a three-way call. So think about that too, that if you have somebody that, like a Jenny that's out in California, maybe it would help for her to see people, versus just having that call. And think about using this as a tool. And what I told Kat is any of you guys can use it. I pay for the higher subscription. It's just the pro one, but I can give my username and password and put it on the site. And then if you guys want to use it, it's there and you can save things and it's there for everybody's use. So just keep that in mind. Well, if nobody has any other questions, we'll jump off. I want to keep it short and sweet and, let's crush this month. A lot of great, exciting things happening. And if you guys need anything, let's talk offline. There she is. And definitely comment on any of the stuff, but make sure you guys mark it for the eye cream. You're the lucky ones that get to do that.
I know. I have someone in mind.
Of course you do.
So wait, is the eye cream for
just you guys?
The eye cream, us. Okay.
Well, you can market it, meaning so any customer that you get, they'll get an eye cream.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So if you sign somebody up that orders tomorrow, for tomorrow only. So leverage that with your post for the selfie. And then if they join you as a customer, they can be retail or preferred customer. I'm not going to specialize that, but obviously you want them as a preferred customer. But if they do retail, I'll give them a free eye cream with it as well. So all you guys got to do is just message me, whoever signs up.
Okay.
And then I'll either ship it to you guys and you can do with what you want, or I'll send it to them.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
See, that's the joy of getting on a call. Yeah.
I assume you're not going to post this replay until.
Oh no, we're gonna post it. They'll be like, I wish I got on the call, right, everybody?
Exactly. Yes.
But definitely make sure you're reaching out to people about the Build On, because that we had so much success with that last year and the year before, and the amount of money we raised just in that alone. That you guys might want to do something special. I mean, I'm giving away the free regimen. Like, obviously, it'll be a drawing of it, but think about things that a charitable contribution that you might want to give towards something, like with people that join or sign up as a customer, that you might take $5-10 of that money and donate it to something else. I mean, there's so many different things you could do with it, and this is a great time to get awareness around your business while you're giving back. So just think of that too as you're going about it, because so many people do it so different. So it's just a good thing to note. All right, all you ladies, get to bed. Annie's just getting home.
I gotta go eat. See you guys later.
All right. Bye, guys.
Hey.